Welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. It's Marvin speaking. I hope everyone's having a great afternoon or evening or even morning wherever you are in the world. I just wanted to get straight into a video. I'm not going to play all of it. It's just a clip that Joseph Morris put out yesterday. And it was actually Lucy with two friends in Manchester, putting out a message. Could it have been for Jay, or that she's thinking about him? But it seemed cryptic. Let's have a quick listen and I'll make an assessment.
With the cryptic phrase, influence this with a cowboy hat and a martini in Manchester, United Kingdom. The picture is also blurry, and it's the first time I've actually seen Lucy's face. The post seems...
What I've noticed as well, she is normally always in glasses, so you can really get a really good look at her. And, you know, I think a lot of the time she changes her style a lot. And we have, I think, in the past got a mix up with other people because of the sunglasses or someone she looks at. And that's the first time I've actually seen a photo of her with her glasses off. I know there's more about the internet. What I have noticed is that on social media, generally she's wearing glasses and she doesn't put that much up. This is what I've noticed. But she certainly sort of moves around the country a bit.
Seemingly conveys a light-hearted message amidst the somber circumstances. Following this post, she included another image of a pink decorative telephone box adorned with flowers paired with a neon sign displaying the same phrase. So this act of sharing these cryptic posts may serve as a way for her to cope with the loss while also trying to maintain a sense of normalcy in a time filled with grief. Because I think she's also very young, like 19 as well. I don't know, but just my conspiracy mind again is just, I'm getting reminded of sort of like a celebration of life, you know, laying flowers down and almost like this is like a coffin and they're putting flowers down. And also interesting that it says hush, hush there, like kiss, hug, and, you know, let's keep this quiet. Like, I kind of feel like this is kind of leading on to maybe there's some secrets here that they're trying to keep quiet. And
I agree. Is she doing an AIB now, putting out codes there? That is this a reference in that she's ready to sort of move on from what happened and let things go, even though a lot of sleuths are still talking about her. It's kind of weird why she's actually done this, because if it was for Jay, then she would have surely have put a few things up. But it is odd, and you know, she doesn't look like she's unhappy or grieving to me, to be honest. She just seems like to me she's just be happy to be out. But I have heard from you know, people in the area that she is out and about and traveling.
Barry. So Lucy's recent post comes amidst a backdrop of uncertainty regarding a phone call she made to Jay that she says she made, which remains unconfirmed as Lucy has since deleted her call logs. So no one really knows if she actually did call Jay in his final moments, because the phone call kept getting pushed back and back and back as the case got more public scrutiny and the timelines weren't matching up.
I'm going to leave it there, guys, because I think obviously a lot of people have seen that, and you know, like I said, we are going over old ground a little bit, but it is interesting basically that she did delete information which was quite valuable for this case, but I think a lot of them have actually done that. We're just going to move on to more little bits and bobs about Lucy as well in part 2. So we're going to go back into a message which I think carries on with the last video about Lucy putting cryptic messages out there, and also deleting what would have been crucial. Why would you delete any messages or anything like the police would want to see, or the family would want to see? What's true and what's not true? Why would you do that? I guess she's thinking she doesn't want anything to come back on or question. But she was talking to Hayley Comet right from the early days, because she told Lucy had been speaking to Hayley before in why you talking about me, and I don't want you talking about me and stuff like that. So she does come out the woodwork, I think, when people actually, get too close to the truth. I think let's revisit this, because I think it needs to be put in again for those who haven't heard it.
Poster, and then I say, do you have a call list of that day so I can see that you've called the police, the British Embassy and the consulate? And I said, obviously block out any other numbers that aren't involved, but just show me the calls you made to the authorities. And she said, I don't anymore. I've had so many spam callers, it's long gone, I deleted it. And I'm like, you deleted the one thing that could prove you were telling the truth. And she's like, I didn't realise I would need it. So then I say, a lot of people are thinking you set Jay up because you knew, the news said the men were your associates, because it did, it's in the newspaper, they were your associates. I said, and yet you said they were strangers to Jay, and then Brad said they'd known each other for 2 days. So which one was it? And she said, I haven't met them until the night before, which was literally very, very brief. So I presumed they were strangers. Brad said him and Jay had spent time with them previous days, but I wasn't there, so I wasn't aware of it. And I said, oh, so she said every day after the festival, I went straight where the boys went on after, which is where they must have met them. And I said, so you weren't with the boys at all, apart from the Energy Festival? And she said, yeah, no, I was with the boys all the time, apart from after the festival. Thank you, Brie. And I was like, I asked about the scuffle video outside Sugar Reef. She asked me to send it to her, I did. And then she just said, she didn't answer me about that. And then I said, so now they've named one of the guys at the B&B, you must recognise him surely. And she said, I reckon.
What I noticed about Lucy, she doesn't want to commit to anything that will show that she's wrong. She's very, very vague. She doesn't expose herself like most young people. So I think she's learned a lot to keep a lot of things to herself. What happened to Jay Slay, you can tell she absolutely knows a lot more, and she's a very, very good talker into basically trying to get out of things that are very, very important. Because like I said, Hayley is brilliant out there. She will squeeze you and want answers and ask straight, direct questions. But you can see Lucy, she's not even getting on the defensive. She's playing stupid, that she didn't know anything that was going on, which is quite sad considering Jay was supposed to be a friend of hers.
Recognise him, yes. As I say, I saw him briefly when I found the house. I've worked with the investigators to try and locate him, but it was difficult because I don't know his friends and I don't know any of his friends' names.
You see how Lucy basically wants to be a million miles away from knowing anything, and she's always kept that same energy in that I don't know anything, I'm sort of blind to it, and she's still doing the same now. And I think maybe her coming out recently and showing her face is maybe that she thinks that this case is completely over and nobody is getting the truth. And for her, it could be a bit of a celebration. But obviously, we don't know what's going through her mind. But I would imagine that if, like I said, she's coming, back out and, showing her face, that she doesn't really give a toss.
Then I said later on, why didn't you tell me Jade stole a watch then? Because you told me he didn't, because it had just been released that day. And she's like, he didn't tell me he'd stolen anything. Firstly, he wouldn't tell me anyway because he knows I'd go mental, because it's not a good thing to do. And secondly, it's dangerous, especially when you're abroad. He's never stolen anything off anyone before, and it's not within his character. So he was obviously very drunk or coerced into doing so. And I said,
coerced into doing so. That could automatically think that someone would set him up if she's actually saying that. Do you know what I mean? You could tell that she is starting to think of the questions that Hayley is setting for her, and also trying to set traps into what Lucy is actually saying. But Lucy, for someone so young, she's smart, and it's quite sad to see because she's thinking in a sinister way.
So I just literally was like, okay. Then I showed her the video, the sugary video, and she said, it's Brandon, but it's not me and Jay. We weren't even in Tenerife then. It's just a stupid altercation that got out of hand. Totally irrelevant to Jay going missing. And I said, can I just ask how you know how irrelevant it was, or even that it was an altercation that got out of hand if you weren't there, and it was way before you even got to the country? And she was like, I don't know. And it's a joke. I've said from day 2 when I found out about the watch from his friend who wasn't in Tenerife. So on day 2, she found out about Jay stealing a watch from his friend who wasn't in Tenerife, who let her know.
She's lying. She's absolutely lying there. Like I said, she doesn't want to really be a part of the situation. She's lying, like she has from day 1.
No, even though Lucy and Brad have told Mark that Jay was constantly boasting on the phone that he'd stole this watch. I thought it was something to do with it, but at the same time, he would have walked miles from where he spoke to us and generally just got lost. I don't know, to be honest. I've got so many questions and no answers, and it's driving me insane. But it's a coincidence, and it's why stay so far away from everything as well. Go into Las Americas, etc., but stay in the middle of nowhere. I like hiking, and even I wouldn't do that in Tenerife.
Look, that's the end of the video there. Basically, she goes on a tangent about I would go hiking. She's been up there before, we know that. She knows Roman and Ayup, but trying to distance herself from it. It is sad because I think she's involved in the big time rugs world and as a recruiter. And I think this is why she sometimes changes her style with her hair, sunglasses, and don't really want people to see her eyes at the end of the day. But to come out as brazen as she did, where quite a few people haven't really seen her before, it's difficult. Do you know what I mean? It really, really is difficult to understand what they're all actually thinking who had a part in the disappearance of Jay Slater. So we move on to a earlier post, which was sometime in June, and Lucy had been removed as the admin. I'm just wondering whether, with everything that what happened and them trying to prove their innocence and stuff, I'm just wondering whether a lot of people are firing questions at her. And if she was on there, she may have incriminated herself due to someone saying something she didn't like and then going into detail. Because like I said, we know that Rachel Hargreaves was one of the main admins on there and didn't want to get into any deep, meaningful conversations about Jay Slater and what may have happened to him. And if people dug deep or asked a few questions, then they were deleted. So I heard.
So this photo I've just seen in another go. Lucy has been removed as an admin from the official J group. Obviously we don't know, it may just be that she didn't want to see the comments anymore and that's why she's been removed as admin. But I just find it very weird that these theories are all coming out and all of a sudden she's just been removed as the admin. Very strange. Yeah, so I've just seen the picture floating about on this group that I'm in, and I just find it so sketchy and weird now that, yeah, it's just so strange that she has been removed as an admin, because she obviously created the GoFundMe, and now she's no longer admin. Don't know. Hopefully there'll be some updates today showcasing maybe why she's been removed, and maybe there'll be an update on the actual Jay case, and hopefully they find him safe and well, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think this was sometime in late June. This lady was on about it, and someone else went on to say a few admins have been removed, not just her. And she also deleted a lot of posts from Insta, and a lot of her sort of party images with different people were altered. And also people were actually saying in the early days a lot of the, like photos with Jay had disappeared and stuff. A lot of people did catch them early, some of them. But it does make you wonder. I think that Rachel probably wanted to control it herself. Maybe Chris Tenerife or Luggy had a word in that. We don't want these youngsters basically in the group or admins, because they could incriminate themselves or say something how maybe they all know each other, which will give us a bit of food for thought. Anyway, let me know what you think, people. Don't forget to subscribe to Streamline Entertainment and follow the channel. Thank you very much indeed.